Ah, you're already here. Perfect, perfect. All right, so I kind of jumped the gun last time when I started talking to you about everything, and I kind of wanted to explain a little bit of the backstory, mainly to do with what these stories are. Because obviously, I mean, this is after hours, after work. You don't really need to be here, but I do appreciate you staying. As you know, we are documenting stories from a place called Luviere. But throughout the land of Luviere, there are these gates or doors. Now, nobody really knows where these doors came from or what exactly they are. But what we do know is that each one of these gates has a very distinguishable symbol on it. That symbol being an eye. Now, I have theories as to what these eyes could represent, but again, there is nothing really stating what is actually true and what is not. But what we do know is that these gates have been around since seemingly the dawn of time within this world. Now, the thing about these gates is that each one seems to give off a magical property, which is quite exciting, honestly, when you think about it. I mean, who wouldn't be excited about, well, magic? But not all magic is good magic. Some of these gates are not exactly the most safe things to be near or go into, and each one of these gates seems to control the magics of their region. So far, we've never actually seen a gate that is close to another gate. They're all spread far apart, and each region seems to have a gate, even if they're hard to find. Some of them are deep within the woods, some of them are underwater, some of them are within vast deserts. But there are always gates where there is magic. Now, one of the phenomena that we found with these gates is the fact that sometimes, for apparently no discernible reason, these gates will start to record. They will record a moment of a town, a moment of an individual, a moment of a group of people. They just randomly start to record the life of these people. And like I said, we don't really know why. But these stories are scattered all throughout the land. And I've had one of my partners or associates going around and collecting these for the past, well, quite some time. I assumed by collecting and understanding these, it could help us on our mission, which, again, lots of information I can't exactly tell you right now. But through being delivered these stories, I began to realize that the lives of the people that were captured by these gates, they're so bright and they're so wonderful. And some of them are dark and some of them are scary, but I feel like there's something to be learned by understanding more about the people who live in this land and the people who have gone through these challenges due to either the gate itself, what the gate has brought to their community, or other things that the gates just randomly started to record and capture. What we thought before was that the gate only captured what was inside of it. But like I said, we found that it sometimes can record things outside of it within its own region. We call these stories the Lost Diaries or the Luviere Diaries. Now, in a way, these seem like they might not be as important as they're not directly related, as they feel like they're not directly connected to our main protagonists, I suppose, if you want to call them that. But I think they are important. I think that I feel like by understanding these, we can get a deeper understanding of each of these regions. We can understand what the people went through, but at the same time, doesn't it just feel good to explore more than yourself, you know? Like if you lived an experience and nobody was there to see it, wouldn't you sometimes just wish that somebody could hear about your story, could hear about the things that you did? Or maybe you're humble and you don't want others, or you don't care about other people hearing what you did, but sometimes the things that you do are just so wonderful that the world deserves to hear them. And that's kind of how I feel about these stories. It's just, I want the world, or at least just two of us, to hear these people's stories, hear some of their struggles, hear some of their happiness. I mean, some of these stories are deep and dark, and they're gritty, and they're scary, and everything that could go wrong goes wrong. But other stories are lighthearted and fun and hilarious, and it's just absolutely wonderful to just experience this with them. And yeah, I guess I just got hooked on the idea of staying late and checking out these stories, understanding these people, and really living with them. Now, I'd be very happy if you wanted to as well. I mean, of course, you don't have to. There's nothing saying that you need to stick around, but as I asked you before, if you would be happy to listen to these stories and experience this and experience these moments with me and experience what they experience too, I would very much appreciate it. So you're still in, huh? Okay. That's good. That's good. So we will return to these stories. We will continue to explore them. We'll see what's going on with these people. We'll understand more about them. It's just, the land is so vast and the magics are so deep, and the things that they had to overcome, sometimes they're just so miraculous, so much bigger than everything that we know. It can get exciting, so I have to calm myself down sometimes as to not treat their stories like some sort of fiction. But I feel like if we respect them, then we can also use the things that they have learned, the things that they were willing to go through and taught us, to inform our own lives and inform our own futures. Don't you think? So that's what I'm planning to do. And I'm super happy that you've already agreed to stick around and be a part of this with me. I hope you do enjoy the future stories. Oh, one last thing before you go. There's something that you might notice about these stories, which is that, well, you're not working, right? There's no need to transcribe. Well, the reason for that is because these stories are not encrypted. Due to the nature of our work, the stories that were delivered to me for our main job, those needed to be encrypted for very real reasons. But the stories that we found along the way, like the friends that we found along the way, those are just raw emotional moments in people's lives, and they didn't need to be encrypted. So that's why I'm able to just read these out to you, or just go off memory off of some of them. Soon I'll be able to show you the books that I have. They'll be here. For now, I'll just have to go off my head and explain to you what's going on with them. But again, I do really, really appreciate you spending your time with me here after work, after you're already finished and you could definitely just go home and relax, which honestly would be wonderful right now, but my home is right up there. I'll show you sometime. So I very, very much appreciate you spending your time with me, giving me some of your time. But yes, anyways, that's all I really want to talk about for tonight. But if you're sticking around, I do have a bit of a story to tell you already. I mean, like I said, only if you're sticking around. If you've already got plans, you've got to get home, then we can do this another time. But if not, I do have a story for you if you would like to listen. This one is about a man who ventured into a desert. And for now, that's everything that I had to say. I think it's everything I had to say. I lose myself sometimes. You know, it's easy to get overwhelmed and forget when I'm in that state for most of the day, and then when I come out of it, I'm lost a little bit and have to find my footing. And so it's nice to have somebody to calm down and just read something to or with or whatever it is. Yes, I think that's everything. But yeah, so just stay here and we will get started on the story. All right. Yes, I'll be back. I'll go and get the book. Okay. See you. See you. I mean, I'll be I'll be back. I'm just a little bit relaxed. Okay. All right. Yes, let's go. I guess if there's one last thing that kind of is important to me, sometimes if we have a calming story, it would be nice to just layer some sounds and just relax and just, meditate and calm down after a heavy day of work, if that's okay with you. That's just an extra thing sometimes on top of the story. Some days it's just nice to relax rather than focusing in on the whole history of an individual. Sometimes that can be hard on the soul. So we just calm down and we talk. That would be nice. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe you'd find that to be quite annoying. But anyways, this is rather here nor there. What was I doing? Oh, yes. That way. Okay.